This is Bob Stewart of the State Bureau of Investigation, who's been assigned to the Calvert case, a baffling mystery crowded with intrigue. Many people had good reasons to do away with Henry Calvert. For instance, Mrs. Dill, his housekeeper. But she didn't hate Henry, she loved him. Patton, the butler, is a likely suspect, and yet he's apparently tried to help the police. The lawyer, Horace Black, knows much about the deceased man's affairs, perhaps too much. Ruth Allen knows a lot more about the whole affair than she was held. Kurt Bennett, the nephew, and his charming wife, Rita, knew Henry's mysterious brother, Walter Calvert. They might be guilty. Sarah Caldwell, the sister of the dead man, is the most bitter of all. She's admitted that she had every reason to plot her brother's death. But Sarah denies that she had any part in the conspiracy. Last but not least, we have the newspaper reporter, Duke Ellis. On second thought, it couldn't be. Now you've met them. If one of them, just one of them, would tell the truth, I'm sure you'd know who's guilty. Detective work, Bob Stewart has located the hiding place of the Edwards gang. Using a package of worthless paper as a decoy, Bob contacts the gang and attempts to arrest Edwards. Bob, Duke, and a deputy sheriff track Edwards again to a shack in the hills. Edwards and his men prepare a last stand, and as Bob and the others close in on them,
I'm fine, Bob. I'm fine. Oh, what an experience. I come around here and I expected to see... Bob. Bob. I'm alone again. And let that be a lesson to you. Here's another one for you, Sheriff. Probably some more men over in that shack. Maybe holding Mrs. Caldwell. I'll try to make the front door. You keep me covered. You stay with the sheriff.
Are you doing exactly as I told you, or?
Mrs. Caldwell! Mrs. Caldwell! Open this door. The shack's surrounded.
Go away. If you don't, he'll shoot.
Oh, hey, Sheriff. Mr. Stewart wants you.
He doesn't want me. He wants you.
Yeah.
Hurry.
But don't you think it would be nice if we both went?
Stay by the front door and hold her attention.
All by myself? Where are you going?
I'm going around the side. Now, do as I tell you and be careful.
Open up in there.
Gun, Edwards.
Help! Help! He's trying to murder me!
Doctor's care right now.
All right, outside, you hijackers. Go ahead.
Lock these up for the others, Sheriff. I'll see that Mrs. Caldwell appears against them.
Better take my car. I gotta wait for the bus to take the prisoners in.
Get out of here. Say, you and I work great together, Sheriff. Someday I'll do something for you.
You're all right, Sarah. I don't know that I'm any better off with these men.
Will you get in the back of the car, please, Mrs. Caldwell? You can call me back at this number, operator. Thank you. Now we can get back to your story, Mrs. Caldwell.
I had $100,000 coming to me from Henry.
But you took $200,000.
I didn't have time to count it.
Did you have any kind of agreement or contract with Henry Calvert to show that you were due that amount of money?
Yes, I'll prove that when I get out of here. Henry made himself rich with his relatives' money. We managed to get some of it back. He manipulated matters so that we couldn't do anything about it. We expected to get all that was coming to us when he died. That is, he promised us that.
Do you include Miss Allen in that group of relatives?
I don't know what her connections were with Henry or Walter. She'll have to explain that herself.
I'll talk at the proper time.
Well, Mrs. Caldwell, I'm sure that if everything's in order, you'll get the money that's due you.
There's nothing else I can do about it now.
Hello? Yes, speaking.
It worked out just like you said it would. Patton has someone with him.
Have him check on the new arrival immediately.
Yes, sir. And I'll sure be glad when you get back. I'm beginning to meet myself in these trick passageways.
I'll be there at once.
Glad you're here, Sergeant. I've just found Mr. Walter Calvert.
You, Walter Calvert? Oh, I guess you're the able policeman Patton's just been telling me about. I'm glad to meet you.
Yes, but when? How?
There are a great many things to be explained.
Mr. Walters had a terrible experience. And if you don't mind, Sergeant, perhaps the questioning could wait until Mr. Stewart returns?
Yes, but
I've taken complete charge. And when this Mr. Stewart comes back, I'll give him some startling information on the burial of my brother Henry.
Okay, Mr. Calvert. I'll be right outside the door if there's anything you want.
What's the matter, Mrs. Dill? You don't seem pleased with my return.
I'm not pleased with the way you talked about Mr. Henry. He's dead and buried, I tell you. He couldn't have kept you a prisoner.
Don't get excited, Mr. Walter. Mrs. Dill is leaving.
Lock the door. So far, so good. However, Mrs. Dill and that girl may prove to be a problem.
Yes, and Rita and Kurt.
We'll put them where they won't interfere. Come on. I'll talk with Mrs. Dill. Mrs. Dill. Mrs. Dill. Listen to me carefully, Mrs. Dill. Don't oppose my brother Walter. He'll betray himself soon.
I understand.
Do as I say, Mrs. Dill.
Yes, Mr. Henry.
Now for Kurt and Rita.
I don't get it. Walter couldn't be too sick to see us.
Kurt,
What?
there's something about all this that doesn't fit. Do you believe that story about Henry not being dead and keeping Walter a prisoner?
Oh, I don't know what to believe. But I know one thing. I'd give a lot to talk to Walter.
You might get a lot, too, if you could talk to him alone.
Someone's on the prowl again.
Kurt, take it easy.
Listen, baby, I quit believing in ghost stories a long time ago. I'm gonna find out what this is all about.
They won't bother me for a while.
No. Things to attend to.
Yes, the reception for the others when they arrive.
Gosh, I wish Bob hadn't stopped in town. I'd feel a lot safer if he were here.
Oh, everything's all right now. Walter Calvert's alive. I can handle him.
Pretty sure of yourself, aren't you?
I've been over this place with a fine-tooth comb. No Kurt, no Rita.
Say, I got a hunch there's a hookup between Rita, Kurt, and Walter. That's why they took a powder.
We don't even know if they left. How long did Mr. Stewart say he'd be in town?
About an hour.
Mr. Walter is rested and will now see you, Miss Allen.
Thank you, Patton.
Say, how about me?
He will interview the press later.
I don't trust that butler. He's got murder in his eye.
You can say that again. No, don't.
Please don't excite him, miss.
Come in, Miss Allen. Sorry to keep you waiting, but I have had a terrible experience, as you no doubt know by now.
I'm here to talk to you about my father's affairs, Mr. Calvert.
Yes, yes, we'll straighten out all those little matters. Now, come closer so that I may see you better.
When will we straighten out all those little matters?
Soon enough. I've been ill. Sure you wouldn't want your father's old friend to endanger his life by getting out of bed too soon, would you?
I've waited years for this moment, and I don't intend to be put off.
But we have matters to discuss that will take hours. Be patient.
Mr. Calvert, I don't believe that...
Why has Ruth Allen come into this room, which now is a deadly trap? She know this man who calls himself Walter Calvert? Who is he? For the amazing solution of all these mysteries, see The Guilty One, the final chapter of Who's Guilty, at this theater next week.